It's Larry Fuqua, and I want to thank you for joining me again. Let me make it clear, my subject matter and concentration is on race, racial matters, racism, the black version of racism. I will say now, all racism is bad, and that includes black racism. I believe it is now the prevalent racism in America. Open, often cloaked in terms such as BLM, DEI, CRT, 1619 Project. As you may know, I am addressing black racism from the perspective of white America. And I believe my perspective and description of black racism is enlightening, thoughtful, informative, and necessary. There are and has been critiques, speeches, newscasts, panels, books, all concerning white racism, rightfully so and needed. I believe our country is progressing back to separate but equal. I consider this to be untenable for a nation of 335 million people and growing. It has to be obvious that the animosity between black and white America has grown and now is in a more aggressive state, unfortunately inflamed by the current president and now further exacerbated by the current presidential campaign, where calls by race people, example would be Joy Reid of MSNBC and others, calling for all black people to support Kamala Harris because she is black. Another current example is Caitlin Clark in the Women's National Basketball Association. Her entry and popularity has brought calls from black celebrities, example, Jamil Hill and others, saying she is promoted because of her white race and not the talented basketball player that she has proven herself to be. I address black racism because it is obviously there. For far too long it has been overlooked, ignored, denied, understood, excused, swept under the proverbial rug. Black racism is now an industry in America. Blackness is openly promoted in all forms of media, even in corporate America, and of course among academia through preferences in admissions and hiring. Okay. A prime example of black racism in higher education is prevalent in the 105 or so colleges and universities, both public and private, that promote themselves by using the acronym HBCU, which signifies historically black colleges and universities, which serves its intended purpose of giving pause, hesitations to white students who may, as I did, for many reasons consider enrolling because it is convenient, affordable, has the desired curriculum for their major, but are stifled and dissuaded by the promotion of the acronym HBCU and a phrase, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." Are not the minds of others worthy also? HBCUs receive funding from the federal, state, and local governments. Other colleges do not receive. Most HBCUs are supported by taxpayers. All receive various forms of government funding, but are allowed to continue their intentional evasion of racial diversity. I am calling for them to voluntarily discontinue the use of HBCU, and a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I am calling for them to racially diversify which they have resisted. We, as a nation, cannot continue to desegregate while living in such close proximity. The necessity to intermingle will not allow us to continue harmoniously in the current acrimonious state of race in today's multicultural, multiracial America. Black Americans have long called for a national conversation on race, and they accuse white America of dodging this conversation. I say white America is more than willing to have this needed conversation as long as all racism is on the table for discussion, including black racism. I want to apologize for reading this from my computer, but I think it is very important, and that's why I want to try to get this across and open this dialogue. It's needed. Anybody can see that the nation is in a tenuous situation racially. I hope that this can be addressed satisfactorily. I am an integrationist, but racism is racism. Whether it's black or white, it's all bad. We can no longer continue to allow black racism to go unchallenged. We address white racism every day. We also need to address the prevalence of black racism in America. Thank you.